Today I'm going to create a piglin ogre. I'm going to basically take the piglin and turn it into a big, well, even bigger brute than piglin brute. I'm here in blockbench. I'm going to take the basic piglin shape. I'm going to leave the behavior as it is for now, and I'm going to begin resizing, making him bigger. Now at first, as you can see, the textures will mess up as the geometry gets bigger and takes up too much space on the texture sheet that you can see up there on the left. So I'm going to start moving stuff around, make his ears a bit smaller, just so they're in proportion. I don't want him to have massive ears. The tusks are a bit too big at the minute, and the snout is too big. So I want his head to be a bit smaller in relation to his body than the regular piglin. So I'm going to resize those things accordingly. It will look a bit messed up for now until I start doing the textures. So you can see that I just go through and hide various bits of the geometry as I go so I can see what I'm doing. Resizing the head so it fits in with the shape of the body. It's a bit wide currently because I just made everything bigger to start off with. Legs are overlapping, so I need to make them skinnier. As you can see, there's two layers to the legs. There's like a outside layer and inside layer, so I need to make all of them smaller. Now here's what I generally do. I'll just go through and make everything one color, usually grey, just so I can see the shape a bit better without being distracted by the old textures. Resizing the tusks there and moving them out from the body, well, out from the head, so they stick out, and moving them outwards a bit. Arms are a bit too chunky probably, or are they? I think I might have left them as they are. Make sure you get the underneath of the nose, the head, the body. It's easy to miss those bits sometimes. I'll continue making everything grey. Make sure the outside layer of the arms is bigger than the inside layer. Now I'm going to delete the central section of the outside layer so it's like to give an effect that he's got big hands and big shoulders. So I've left the inside layer solid for now, and I'm just leaving a gap in the middle of the outside layer. You'll be able to see that better in a bit when I start adding some colour to it other than grey. But as I said, the grey is just to give me an idea of the shape and the general design of the mob. It looks a bit weird there. It's just showing some of the old texture. You could, of course, just take the texture file into Photoshop and just paint bucket the whole thing in one go, but I didn't bother doing that. So here you go. I'm colour picking some of the textures from the original piglin skin, just so we can stay in theme. And I'm using that to paint the new textures on my big piglin ogre character. Now, on the top left, you can see that I've made the texture file wider, so I can add more details. I've made it twice as wide, but left it the same height. I've kept the same resolution as the normal piglin and like vanilla mobs because I wanted to stay in theme with them. And here I'll turn on symmetry so I can draw the texture on the head symmetrically. A little bit of shadow behind the eyes there, give him a bit of a frown. I'll start with the darker colour from the piglin's skin, which is like a browny fleshy colour, and then I'll work in the highlights slowly one by one. I think it's nice to keep the same colour scheme as the originals, just to keep everything in, so it all looks nice together when we put it in the game. Get the ears done there and start working on the snout. Some little shine, little highlights above and below the nostrils there, and some darkness inside his nostrils. So at the minute I'm just using the piglin behavior for this, but because I'm working in blockbench, but I will eventually take this through mcreator and add a slightly different behavior and different stats, make him stronger, and I don't know, I haven't decided yet. I'll play around with that when I do it. That will be in another video, because today I'm just working on the shape and the texture. But if you would like to subscribe and follow along, you'll be notified when I do release another video about this, and you'll get notifications about my other creations that I'm making. All of which will eventually, when I get around to it, be put up on my website, which you can download for free. So please, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. That would make me very happy. So here we are, adding some highlights to the tops of the ears. And you can see it's coming together now. The face, I'm almost happy enough with that. I've added some furry, shaggy shoulders and gloves. And I'm going to start doing some details on the body. He's just going to be like a, scruffy sort of piglin, shaggy character, and here's a little gold detail on his belt buckle, which I'll do in the outside layer, and add some highlights to that, make it nice and shiny, because piglins love gold. There's no reason why piglin ogres wouldn't also love gold. Remove that, add a belt underneath. I'll make sure to go all the way around and do that on each side. Just spotted a little bit of texture messing up on the side there, so what I'll do is I'll make the legs narrower so they don't overlap and sort of fight with each other like they are doing. Add some creases to his clothes. I'm doing this in just a couple of different colours, like the base colour, a slightly darker colour, and a lighter colour for highlights. And so sometimes I do it more with smoother gradients, but at low resolutions like this, it's nice to just stick with a few colours. And here is like a Jon Snow kind of furry cape around his shoulders. And you go, just add a bit of darkness, and then I'll go onto the inside layer and add a bit of shadow underneath there to make it stand out a bit more. And at the end of this video, I'll just put this into Minecraft and see what he looks like. See if he's an appropriate size for the rest of the mobs or not. So there you go, I'm doing a bit of shadow underneath the outside layer, and now I'll get onto his legs. Just a darker brown with some shadows and highlights again. They have fairly simple sack-like clothing, these guys. I'll put some boots in the outside layer, how about that? Simple ogre boots. A bit of detail on the front, a bit of shine on his toes. We're actually not far off now. I'll put some more gold details on because he is a slightly more special character than the regular piglins, and piglin brutes have gold, so piglin ogres should have gold also on their knees and on their shoulders. It's a bit of highlight to his knee pads. We are nearly there. Let's add a bit of detail on the shoulder and let's check him out in the game. Oh, no, first I'll add a bit more detail to the tusk, and here he is with some other piglins and a big pink ghast floating round above him. There you go, he looks nice, doesn't he? And he's, nope, straight into the lava. There's a brute, there's regular piglin, brute, ogre. There you go, so you can see the size next to each other and that ghast willing to get in the way. So thank you for watching. And if you're not subscribed, give me a subscribe and a thumbs up and I will be eternally grateful. Thank you.